You know, we've really never seen anything quite like this. Back to you, Diane.
It's Frosty.
This bitch is unique. High frequencies being tuned, she speak. Oh, and she a freak. Pupils on her cause they all wanna peek. Yes, up and down, but I've never been weak.
Everybody, it is Karlton Phresh here. I wanted to hop on and just briefly and kind of start doing some interactive stuff, like showing behind the scenes of how I create some of the things that I get a chance to create. And I have a sip of this tea. I'm a little bit getting over some kind of itch. Anyway, hope everybody's having a great day today. And I'll just jump right into it. So again, I wanted to get on and give a little bit more insight into what I do production wise and, you know, just show a little bit behind the scenes. So that's what we're doing today. On today's list, and first and foremost, shout out to Frosty and her new release, All Frost No Ice, out now on all platforms. Now, I had the pleasure, the honor of producing not only one, but two productions on this bad mofo of a project that's out right now. And just kudos to Frosty for, you know, bringing together such a smooth sound. It's really a no skip project, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. So definitely check her out, officiallyfrosty.com, or you can check her out on all social media platforms. That's Frosty, and that's just spelled normally. So what I do, my little trick is to type in like her name in one of the songs, and you know, such as Candy or Dollar in a Dream, and her name and artist profile will appear. So check her out for sure. Check out that amazing album. So many dope songs on that project. So today we're gonna get into the project that I was on, the song that I was on production for, Quite Like Me. Also produced Candy, that intros the album, but today we're gonna talk about Quite Like Me. I really love this beat. Honestly, it's one of my favorite beats I've made in a long time, and it's actually very simple. I really try to make my productions really about the feeling and just giving the artist enough space to do their thing so they can shine. It doesn't necessarily have to be over complex. For me, it just needs to have a vibe, you know, and get people going. So I started making this beat actually in 2020, so I guess officially it's almost 2 years old that this was in the making. And it's kind of crazy, like how long things can take to come to fruition, but usually it's actually not that crazy, I should say, because a lot of the songs that we hear, once they finally reach the light of day, so to speak, I mean, it can easily take up to 2 years for most really good productions and albums and things to come out. What we'll do is just move right into the beat. But anyway, All Frost No Ice, All Frost No Ice is out on all platforms. You can definitely find that on Tidal, Amazon Music, Apple Music. So it will be there for your music consumption, and go stream that for real. So let's get into it. Here's my FL Studio. I do like to use FL Studio to make my beats. Been using FL Studio since like high school. Like I really didn't understand how to use FL Studio at first, so it took quite a while. I mean, nobody does. Nobody just opens it and knows what the hell's going on right away. But it took quite a while to really settle in. But I do feel like as of the last few years, I have settled into using it. And a lot of times I don't necessarily make things that are so complex. So let's just get into it. I'm going to play, you know, some of the beats so you guys can get familiar with it. So we'll just check out that first little section really quick. Now this, inspo for this beat, definitely I wanted to bring, I started making this beat before I knew I was going to give it to Frosty. Now with Candy, I made Candy in mind with Frosty in mind from the beginning. I even have the title project in it saved as Frosty 1 or whatever. So I knew that I was making that beat for Frosty. This beat, immediately, I did not necessarily know it was going to be for her. It was just something cool I was making. But I kind of started off with, this melody because I just like this. I called it air here, and it just sounds like air. Hold on a second. It should be just the air sound. Let me see what we have on in the background. Or this is okay. So the air sound is actually made up of two different sounds. It's kind of like this piano, kind of like almost like an out of tune piano, and this airy pad laid over top of each other. I just felt it gave kind of like a floaty vibe, not necessarily ethereal, but just it's something that makes you breathe, like you could breathe. And then we have the counter melody here, which I really fell in love with the way this sounds. Okay, so we have, a lot of higher frequency, airy, floaty sounding instruments to lead it in. Then I kind of combined those. I wanted to bring in, something that sounded a little bit harder after that, because I kind of wanted this track to flip on the audience's ear. So I came up with these. Just simple kind of drum pattern. And then added this tom. I love tom drums. They are my favorite. I feel like it's not widely used, but I just like the sound of them. So I added a tom in to kind of enhance and give some more bassier, punchier sounds. So all together, something really vibey, something really wavy. I wanted it to be in between like an abstract boom bap type beat, but also definitely, inspiration and shout out to Neptunes, Chad Hugo and Pharrell Williams, definitely two of my favorites ever in the game. So I definitely kind of had fun channeling a little bit of that. It's not a carbon copy. I try not to do anything like that, but yeah, it has its own personalities, but it's definitely a child of the Neptunes era, and that's okay because I love them so much. So let's get in now to what would be, I guess, the hook or chorus verse, the hook / chorus area of this song. And yeah, I'll just play it for you. So I'll show you what's new. So obviously, we had the air pattern. I'm going to take that out. We had our nice little, drum section that we added in the melody. Oh, well, this melody is actually a different one, so I'll play that in a second. And then we have some other things. So what I'll show first that really brings out the chorus is this heavy, like 808 sounding, kind of like over distorted sound. And And I just like that because, again, like I wanted to kind of smack people in the face with sound. I really like doing that. Making something that might be soft sounding as the main melody, but you have something that's like definitely getting your attention. It has, going to put that bump in your trunk when you're driving down the street playing this. So that was the initial like main sound of the chorus / hook. Here's another counter melody, kind of will be similar to the one that was here in the beginning. And yes, that is an original melody that I'm playing myself. Just kind of say that because, like, I don't know what people be thinking, like, oh, who makes your beats for you? Like, when you say you're a producer, you're the one making the beats, Now, I don't make every single beat for myself. I have many wonderful, talented producers that I like to work with from time to time. But when I'm saying I produced a song for another artist, that's what I mean. So that's that counter melody there. And so I wanted to add a little bit. So you can see how that, before that sound played, the melody here, it kind of like has that building sense of not sense of urgency, but I guess just a building of atmosphere. And then I wanted to kind of heavy that up a little bit with this distortion sound. So a little weird, interesting sound there. And then this one's called tap. Let me see what this is. Oh yeah, just a tap sound. So just add a little bit more like, thump. So all together, what we got when we get those. So that's the chorus of Quite Like Me. There's a lot of sounds in there. There's a lot of layers. And then at the end, I don't know if people caught it, but there's this little flute sound. It actually is a lead-in to the next part of the song. So I'll play it from here. Like a little whistle. And it goes off twice. I don't know, just to change up how the song progresses into the next, I guess what would be verse. I think she starts rapping there again. Now we're gonna get into the bridge. And originally, I was kind of making this beat to be almost like an R&B vibe with a little bit of a harder drum pattern. So maybe a rapper and a singer could be on this song. But I was very surprised the direction Frosty took. She just completely rapped. She completely, smashed those bars, like kind of showing off different flows. It was very lyrical, and it was very like, watch me do this thing. Like I'm about to go in right now. So I actually really liked that. It grew on me. When you're a producer, you kind of pass over some of your creative input, and then you let the artist do their thing. And that's what I love about collaboration, is just seeing what different way the artist was thinking from how I was thinking. And I usually, every time, I really love it, and I'm just surprised. So this gets into the hook, this gets into the bridge. Sorry if I keep like getting all these parts confused, but this part gets into the bridge, and it kind of gives it a serious, more, a little bit of anticipation, I guess, is what I wanted to create in this part. The parts in that are just the melody here, and then the sound's different. The sound that I added that kind of gave it, just one sound gave it that whole different anticipation to it, which was this sub. And then you kind of also the distorted secondary melody, but it still feels pretty. It sounds like kind of royal, you know, like you're in trouble with the royalty now, or something. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Sorry if any of this is awkward. This is kind of my first time doing one of these videos, but we're going to push through. We're going to push through either way. And then we just have the outro, which it starts the same way that it ends. Sometimes I like to do that. I just gave it 2 more go rounds. But yeah, I think it really takes you to a place like a castle in the sky, or just away, you know, it takes you away. And I love what Frosty did over the beat. Really bringing like that attitude of ain't nobody quite like me, and I feel like this was a different kind of beat, and it fit really with that song. So now we got a classic. So check out Quite Like Me, All Frost No Ice by Frosty. Check it out. Thanks for coming and listening to me break down the beat, and see if you can hear those things when you go and listen to the actual copy online on streaming services everywhere. So thank you guys. Have a nice day, and I'm getting out of here.
Brick wall, try and get past me. Spitting rhymes like a D1 athlete. Many have tried but can't copy exactly. A comedic tragedy. You acting real funny, ain't nobody laughing. I'm Chemical X, you don't want no reaction. Newest edition, y'all stuck on subtraction.